All right, welcome everybody. We are going to be hearing about bridging the language barriers, making programming education accessible to all from Mthetho. Sweet.
Okay, so good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Mthetho Sovara. I'm a research support scientist at the Center for High Performance Computing, and I support programs in Earth System Science and Astrophysics. Today, over the past day or two, the previous speakers have labored extensively on, diversifying workflows and hardware and things like that. But, this afternoon I want to speak on a softer topic, and that is basically inclusivity. So I come from the Eastern Cape, in a region called Mthatha. Mthetho from Mthatha. So I'm part of the Mbondomse tribe, and my forefathers came down from the Klesibe tribe, which is further a bit on the border of the KwaZulu-Natal region. So this is my homeland, and you can see it's divided into the different tribes that make up what we know now today as the Xhosa people. This is important, but we'll see why a bit later. So my background is in ocean and atmosphere science. That's why I support Earth System Science at the CHPC, which is hosted at the CSIR. I have been to Antarctica for 6 months in many years ago on the SA Agalas 2, which is the South African polar research vessel. The other pictures, I went to visit the house that Nelson Mandela grew up in. So he didn't grow up at his home, but at his uncle's place with his cousins. So you see me standing there with one of my colleagues at the time, enjoying a view probably that Nelson enjoyed many times. And the picture of the hut is actually where he stayed after he became a man. He went through the rites of passage of becoming a man, and that was the house that he was assigned to. That is a traditional home. So why I show this is because most of my former education took place at a historically disadvantaged institution called Walter Sisulu University, which is located at Mthatha. At the time, I had limited access to computers and could never have had imagined that one day I'd be speaking to software developers at a Python conference in Cape Town. So there's a reason why I'm telling this story, and today I'm discovering my new identity in software development and engineering. And like many others like me, I find myself having now to navigate a new world of DevOps. But I know that there are many like me who do not have a background in this field. So our reality is that we come into this space without the advantage of a strong technical background. So instead of getting inside and closing the door behind us, we have come to understand the importance of making programming education and tools like Python accessible to everybody. So I will essentially reiterate the words of the opening keynote from a slightly different perspective. Just a bit about the NICIS, the National Integrated Cyber Infrastructure System. It's made up of 3 pillars: the CHPC, SANRAN, which is the South African National Research Network, and that provides high bandwidth, high speed network connectivity for research and education institutions in South Africa. And our sister DIRISA, the Data Intensive Research Initiative of South Africa. So we've got a high performance computer that is accessible from all of the universities and research institutions in the country through this high bandwidth network, but it also produces a lot of data. So this data needs to be stored somewhere, and that is Teresa. So over the past 6 years, we've seen an increasing trend in computational resource usage at the CHPC. And this is driven by an increasing number of users. However, a key challenge has emerged that many of these users lack necessary skills to effectively utilize these resources, with principal investigators often failing to provide adequate training. And as I show these two pie charts, they show the total active programs and the total hours used. And this is from a user perspective. So what we can see here is that a lot of people using the HPC facility today are mostly from the academic and public institutions in South Africa. But we do also see industry use cases, though not much money, though money is not a barrier to entry in our case. And then to effectively support, so this pie chart shows the different research programs or areas or fields of research that we do support. And so to effectively support these research domains at the CHPC, we've partnered with the Mthetho to develop a Python-based summer school that emphasizes data science and machine learning applications in theoretical and computational sciences. Additionally, we offer a winter school focused on high-performance computing training, which also includes some bash. So the pie chart shows an interesting distribution, but the main question one should ask themselves is, who are the individuals behind this data usage? So in terms of gender representation, we found a significant predominance of males amongst the PIs, which are the principal investigators. This male majority is also reflected within the user demographic. And interestingly, this trend is also evident in this room as well, highlighting a broader issue of gender imbalance within the research, DevOps, and RSE community. So this raises important questions about diversity and inclusion, suggesting a need for initiatives to. Moving on. Upon further examination of the demographics, we found that the majority of PIs are of white ethnicity, followed by Black, Indian, and colored individuals. But what surprised me the most is that our user base is roughly 50% comprised of individuals with white and Indian users following. I did not expect this result because many Black South African students, particularly those from historically disadvantaged universities, have little or no background in programming languages like Python, which can be attributed to limited resources and available skills training. But then how is this happening? Maybe it is because we are also seeing an increase in student participation rates at South African universities. This I got from a Statista, which is a leading online stats portal that aggregates information from various sources. It includes market research, government databases, and academic publications. So what we see is a share of student participation rates at universities by population group for the year 2002 and 2022. So given the rising participation of African natives, translating our training materials into native languages is then a logical step to promote inclusivity and enhance engagement, raising user base and the potential market. So a couple of things about inclusivity. It drives innovation. So inclusive teams typically have diverse perspectives. So they think outside the box, and the environment is conducive for generating new ideas. But inclusive environments also encourage the sharing of ideas and knowledge across different groups and disciplines. So this cross-pollination of ideas can spark innovation. They can grow on a broader set of skills and expertise to address problems from multiple angles, which can lead to more effective and innovative solutions. Diverse teams can also provide valuable insights into different markets. So understanding and catering for the preferences of various customer groups can lead to creation of new market opportunities and innovative product offerings. So what we have done is to roll out a massive, accessible training content to all of our country's universities. At the CHPC, we are fortunate to comprise of a diverse group of South Africans that each contribute unique perspectives and solutions to drive democratized human capital development in our nation and across our borders. In 2024, our coding summer school had significant reach, and this was made possible by the inclusion of university champions from their respective universities. In total, we had about 800 participants, and yeah, 800 participants in general. And the week one, we teach them Python and Bash, and an introduction to data science. And then week two comprises of machine learning and probability stats, ODEs, and some bioinformatics applications. And with regard to our translated Python content, it is publicly available in our Git repo, which is mostly active in January and February when the summer school happens. So my translation efforts bridge technology and people. These are some of the resources that I've used to translate the content. I quickly realized that the current technology has limitations, especially regarding data availability. So it became evident that individual poets, linguists, and elders can significantly contribute to these efforts. So how do we translate the term source code? Does language evolve at the same rate as technology? Can native descriptions keep up? This year, I have even invited student participants from the summer school to enhance the text where they find it lacking. And their contributions can be made through Git pull requests and Canvas, which are open source. In one of the talks yesterday, I learned that there's even a Python package that can possibly assist with these translations as well. So all of this has been useful, and I think, yeah, we'll just continue along that path to try and make this content available to everyone. I used a book that was published in 1903. There was a very significant effort by then from white people to try and understand Google Translate lacks data most of the time, but I found that talking to people really helped to bridge the gap. So has this been useful? Is it achieving the desired outcome? I think so. There's this feedback from the students who use it, and they gave the core material to them an average rating of 8, which is relatively good. suggests to us that it is reaching the desired market. But we also use a variety of other open source platforms, to communicate and make the content available. Overall, the people who use the material gave overwhelmingly positive responses, citing various reasons. They say that our course is an excellent starting point to learn Python. And they say it's useful for beginners in Python and for data processing. Yeah, so I don't think I need to talk about this right now. But yeah, so out of 800 students who had registered, only around 300 successfully completed the course and were eligible for certificates. I guess that's a bit normal. This is some of the pictures from the sites that were taken at the time of the workshop. It's mostly postgraduate students from universities, but we also do find early career scientists as well. But our impact is not only limited to postgraduate students and professionals, but we also try and target high schools. We have a Python programming school, which is led by the Teresa, and we at the CHPC also have been teaching or training people from the Department of Basic Education, Scratch programming, Linux, hardware, computer hardware, and a bit of the cloud as well, in preparing them to contribute significantly to the new curriculum that is said to be coming for the South African schools. And then in conclusion, at this conference, we have seen diverse DevOps technology and workflows that are emerging and how the landscape is changing. But I want to take this opportunity to advocate strongly for diversity in human resources, as this can foster adaptability and resilience in both research and industry. By a show of hands, who here is below the age of 30? Is it just me? So yeah, age diversity can also lead to a richer pool of talent. It can also foster innovation, enhance knowledge sharing and exchange, and also promote a more balanced and adaptable working environment. So embracing age diversity can help tech organizations remain competitive and resilient in a rapidly evolving landscape. And with that, thank you.
Do we have any questions? Yeah.
Okay. Mine is not, actually, I will just comment and also ask you a question. This talk for me, it resonated with me a lot because what you are talking about here, it's something that is really happening in a real world. I'm also one of the, I would say, students who are coming from those disadvantaged universities, like Walter Sisulu, as you were mentioning. I was also in Baraworth campus doing IT there, going there without any background. I think that also birthed a passion out of me to teach kids coding at a young age. So that's my daily job. That's what I'm doing. So my question for you is that how do we reach to you guys? Because as a person, you can never reach everyone. You want to spread up your wings, but when you know that there are people that are out there for collaboration, especially for Eastern Cape. I'm starting now to babysit Eastern Cape as my home province. So I'm in Cape Town, but I want to spread my wings as well to Eastern Cape, because I know there are so much disadvantaged communities. There are so much kids who are sitting with potential, but who are not aware that there are platforms that are for free for them to upskill themselves, so that when they got to university, they know exactly which careers to take. Because I got in IT by surprise, because that was never something that I even know that it existed. But because of like the career that I wanted was oversubscribed, and then the only space they had was IT, then I had to learn, yeah, and in a software development space where it was not even part of your passion, didn't have any background. Even in like in high school, I hardly even been a computer well. I didn't know even how to move a mouse. You see, that was really a bad experience for me. So as we are now inspiring the future generation, so it for us to be aware which doors to knock, so that we can also advocate also on your behalf, also complimenting what you guys are doing. It's really a beautiful job, and it's needed there, because really there are kids who are sitting with reality of not having a computers at home, not having smartphones as well, not having internet every day. To them, that's luxury. Do you see? So at least when there is spaces like that, that now we are able to advocate to them that if you want to be part of learning what is relevant in the 21st century skill, these are the doors that you can knock to for free to prepare your career, so that you know exactly what you're looking for. Thank you.
Thank you for that comment. What I can also say to that is, so we are a mostly government institution, and we are very bureaucratic by nature. So trying to collaborate can take a bit of time. But I do believe that in your little corner, in your space, the little that you can do, does cause change. And I also believe that communities like the PyCon ZA are there to also, foster these kind of initiatives, and hopefully, they can start to drive these more and more over time. So yeah, I think that whatever you can do, when you can do it, just do it. Yeah.
Do we have any other?
Thanks, Mthetho. Can you give us a few examples of how you translated Xhosa, like source code programming, and how you derived those words?
Right. So it was really difficult, because language takes languages don't typically evolve as fast as technology, So when technology evolves, new terms come. But in a language like mine, these terms don't exist. I was fortunate to find that dictionary, but I also couldn't find some of these terms there as well. So I then, tried to use the internet. Also realized that it also has its own limits, because it doesn't know everything, data, languages. So I thought about it and realized that I have to reach out to those I call elders, those who have kept the language. Because most of people my age do not know. We have forgotten to speak our language organically. We grew up in the cities and it's all got mixed up. So within my networks, I identified, some old guys, approached them and gave them some of the text, and they just helped me to make some sense of it. In its current form, it's not final, it's still a work in progress. But it did show me that a lot of work still needs to go into this, and I'm happy that, even Python libraries are now starting to do this kind of work. I hope that we can contribute to those projects with the little that we do have, to increase the database.
Hi. I'm interested in these workshops for the university students. How are you showed that you've got really good coverage in terms of the participants across the country. Within those universities, how are these workshops being advertised? Is it only for computer science students or is it more open-ended? And can you just sort of walk through the workshop, how it goes? Because my experience with the university students is that they often have very different skill levels, even for the ones that are interested. So how do you bring everybody up to a good skill, and what constitutes a good day at the workshop?
That's okay. So initially, the call was open to everyone. It was sort of open-ended, but we realized that, like you said, the levels are different, and that can cause some issues. We then decided to have a small, like Python entry level test. So that's what we do these days. Personally, I don't like it, but they decided that that's the way we should go. So that's what's happening now. There's a small entry level test, and then once you're in there, it's 2 weeks. The first week is basically data science, like an introduction to Python and data science. The second week is basically applications using Python and data science from your different spectrum of domains. So the course is hybrid, and that has made participation available even from the remotest areas of the country. What else can I say about that? It happens just before the university curriculum opens in January, ensuring maximum participation. But like I showed the numbers, we get a lot of registrations, like around 800, but then only 300 people complete. So yeah, that's basically it. I hope I try to give you what you're looking for.
Any more questions? Okay, I have questions. So for the test that you run, what is the format? Is it like an online test, or do people come in to a place to write a test? Like, what does it look like?
It's online, sorry. Completely
All
online.
right, cool.
Yeah.
So it's just like a once-off test. They just like sign in and write it.
Sign in, right? Yeah.
Okay, cool. Another question from me. Have you heard of Nuru? Nuru.
No.
It is a Swahili programming language built from the ground up, and worth Googling. It's on GitHub. Yeah.
Nice. Nuru. Nuru.
Nuru. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Check it out.
Yeah.
Well, have you heard of Ing? Very keen to collaborate. And have you heard of the Turtle Translated project? Trying to get Python Turtle available in isiXhosa and isiZulu so far. And then we've had a whole lot of other languages contributed from outside South Africa. So if you haven't, let's get some pull requests going. Yeah.
No, I haven't, and that's why I came here,
Yeah.
to this conference too.
Because now you can say import fudo pambili kuhlu, and you don't have to be speaking isiNgesi. So it's amazing. Yeah.
Injalo.
Any more questions? Going once, going twice? All right, let us thank our speaker one more time.